The Nancy Guthrie ransom note mystery. Which messages were real? For months, the disappearance of 84-year-old Nancy Guthrie has been surrounded by one question. Was this really a kidnapping for ransom? And if it was, which ransom messages were actually sent by the people responsible? Now, investigators have revealed that some communications connected to the case were not credible. One man has even pleaded guilty to sending fake ransom messages to Nancy Guthrie family. But the FBI says the story is not over. Some ransom communications are still being investigated as potentially legitimate, and Nancy Guthrie is still missing. This is the latest update in a case that has become increasingly complicated. Chapter 1. The disappearance. Nancy Guthrie was last known to be at her home in the Tucson, Arizona area at the end of January. She was 84 years old and, according to the FBI, was considered a vulnerable adult with difficulty walking, a pacemaker, and a need for daily heart medication. Investigators believe something happened at her home during the early morning hours surrounding her disappearance. Surveillance footage later released by the FBI showed a masked individual appearing to tamper with a camera at Nancy's front door. Blood was also found near the home, and a glove recovered in the investigation reportedly did not match any known DNA profile in the national database. These details are important because they come from the physical investigation, not from anonymous ransom messages, and they remain some of the most significant pieces of publicly known evidence in the case. The FBI continues to investigate Nancy's disappearance as a kidnapping for ransom case. Chapter 2. Then came the ransom messages. As the investigation continued, multiple ransom-related communications emerged. Some were sent to media organizations. Others were directed toward Nancy family. The messages reportedly demanded cryptocurrency and claimed to have information about Nancy. But this is where the case becomes complicated. According to the FBI, investigators have received several ransom notes during the investigation. Some communications have been discounted as extortion attempts, but the FBI has also said that other ransom notes are still being evaluated as potentially legitimate. That means the public should be extremely careful about one popular claim, that every ransom note in the Nancy Guthrie case has been proven fake. That is not what the FBI has said. The agency position is more complicated. Some messages are considered fraudulent, others remain under investigation, and the kidnapping for ransom investigation continues. Chapter 3. The man who pretended to be a kidnapper. Then came one of the strangest developments in the case. A 42-year-old California man named Derek Colella pleaded guilty in federal court after sending fake ransom communications to Nancy Guthrie family. According to investigators, Colella contacted the family shortly after Nancy relatives made public appeals for her safe return. He allegedly presented himself as someone connected to the kidnapping, but investigators determined that he was an imposter. Colella's guilty plea is significant, not because authorities believe he abducted Nancy. They do not. His case is significant because it demonstrates something investigators have had to deal with throughout this investigation: people attempting to exploit Nancy Guthrie disappearance. Colella is, according to the reporting, the only person publicly convicted in connection with the disappearance itself, but he is not accused of being the person who took Nancy. His sentencing is scheduled for September 2026, and that raises an uncomfortable question. If one person was willing to fake a ransom demand, could there be others? Chapter 4. The messages that remain a mystery. The biggest unanswered question now concerns the communications that investigators have not publicly dismissed. The FBI has said some ransom notes are still being evaluated as potentially legitimate. That leaves several possibilities. One possibility is that the actual perpetrator, or someone with genuine knowledge of Nancy's whereabouts, attempted to communicate. Another possibility is that someone unrelated to the kidnapping obtained information and attempted to exploit the case. And there is another possibility, that multiple people have been contacting investigators and media organizations for completely different reasons. At this point, the public does not have enough evidence to determine which explanation is correct. That is why it is dangerous to automatically identify every anonymous sender as the kidnapper, and it is equally dangerous to assume every message is a hoax. The FBI is still sorting through the evidence. Chapter 5. the claim that Nancy was dead. One of the most disturbing communications reportedly claimed that Nancy had died, but this remains an anonymous claim. It has not been publicly established as fact. Authorities have not publicly confirmed Nancy's death, and the FBI continues to investigate the case as a kidnapping for ransom investigation. That distinction matters. In a case surrounded by anonymous messages, every claim has to be separated into three categories: what investigators know, what investigators are investigating, and what someone simply claims to be true. Right now, the public does not have enough evidence to say that Nancy was killed. We also cannot say that she is alive. Her whereabouts remain unknown. Chapter 6: The Physical Evidence. For investigators, the physical evidence may ultimately be more important than the ransom messages. The FBI has released surveillance footage showing a masked individual near Nancy's home. Investigators have also examined evidence recovered from the property. Blood found near the home has been reported as belonging to Nancy. A glove recovered near the scene reportedly did not produce a match to a known DNA profile in the national database. And the camera footage raises another important question. Who was the person captured near the property? Was that individual the person who took Nancy? Was the person acting alone? Did they know Nancy? Or was this part of a larger operation? Those questions remain unanswered publicly. Chapter 7. Why was Nancy targeted? Perhaps the biggest mystery of all is motive. Why Nancy? Was she specifically targeted? Was the kidnapping planned? Was it financially motivated? Did the perpetrator know her? Or was she selected because of her connection to her daughter, television personality Savannah Guthrie? There is currently no publicly established answer, and this is where online theories can easily outrun the evidence. There is no public proof that the kidnapping was connected to Savannah Guthrie's career. There is no public proof that Nancy was targeted by someone she knew, and there is no public proof that the kidnapping was staged. Those remain possibilities discussed by observers, not established facts. Chapter 8: The Biggest Development of the Last Month. So, what has actually changed? The biggest development is the ransom note controversy. Investigators have now established that at least some people attempted to exploit the case with fake ransom communications, but the FBI has not closed the door on the possibility that other communications may be legitimate. That means investigators are facing a difficult problem. They must separate the real evidence from the noise, the genuine leads from the hoaxes, the people who know something, from the people who simply want attention or money. And somewhere inside that maze may be the information that finally explains what happened to Nancy Guthrie. Final. 5 months after Nancy Guthrie disappeared, the central mystery remains. An elderly woman vanished from her home. A masked person was captured on surveillance. Physical evidence was recovered. Ransom communications appeared. Some were determined to be fraudulent. At least one man has admitted to impersonating a kidnapper. But the FBI says the investigation remains a kidnapping for ransom case, and Nancy Guthrie has still not been found. The biggest question is no longer simply which ransom note is real. It is who was responsible for Nancy's disappearance, and where is she now? Until investigators answer those questions, this case remains open, and every new piece of evidence could change the story. If you have information about Nancy Guthrie's disappearance, contact law enforcement. And remember, in a case like this, speculation is easy. Evidence is everything. Remember, subscribe to my channel.